This is a wonderful day. I'm so glad it's nice and not windy and not cold. And so many of you came out this afternoon to help us in this groundbreaking event. I thank you all so much for being here to this official groundbreaking. When I think about groundbreaking ceremonies, it's a symbol to me that we're growing and we're enhancing and we're expanding. So thank you all for being here to this very beautiful and unique edition that we will have here at Magnolia Mound, and it will stand as a living history lesson for many years to come for this important part of Baton Rouge history. We have a short program today, and we will include a few stories about Magnolia Mound, as well as give some recognition to some of the special generous donors that we have here today at the ceremony. But first, I'd like to acknowledge a few people who are here today. With me is our commission chair, Mr. Kenny Richey. Mr. Richey, would you wave at the group? Thank you for being here. Also, we have Mr. Larry Selders. He is also a commissioner. Thank you for taking time to come. And I certainly would like to introduce another one of my commissioners who we talked into participating on the program, Mr. Craig Freeman. Thank you for being here as well. And to all of you for coming out today, we thank you. I want to especially say thank you to my staff for all the work that you have done to bring this project to fruition. Mr. Ted Jack, where are you, Ted? Thank you, Ted, and your team. Dan, are you here? Dan Aber. Thank you, Dan, for all that you do, and all of the staff who work in the special facilities, Mr. Brandon Smith, John Sykes, who's the manager here on site for Magnolia Mound, and Cheryl Michelet and all of your communications team. You guys do all of these things to help make us look so good, and I just appreciate all that you do to help make a difference in this community. I would also like to thank the BREC Foundation. We could not do what we do here in this community without the support of the foundation, and certainly at this particular location, the Friends of Magnolia Mound for making this day a possibility. And then certainly the generosity of our donor, Ms. Sue Turner, the Turner family, for this visitor center. You'll hear more about Ms. Turner shortly. I would also like to send a special thank you to Mr. David Ellison. He was the past president of the BREC Foundation, and he is still committed to BREC and what we do, and he was instrumental in providing a donation to this project to the tune of $25,000. Mr. Ellison, thank you. Where are you? Thank you so much for what you're doing, continuing to do in this community. So please join me in thanking all of the people who have helped us and assisted us with a round of applause. Many of you know the Turner family has given BREC Foundation the largest cash contribution in the amount of $1.127 million to build this outstanding, incredible visitor center here at Magnolia Mound. And you'll hear more about Ms. Turner just in a few minutes, but I would like to just stop for a second and give the Turner family a round of applause for their support of BREC. This building is not only important to East Baton Rouge Parish, but to the entire state of Louisiana, since it acts as a living history lesson for children and adults alike. This is a way for the commission and the school board members to work together in helping to continue to educate our kids. And here to speak to you from the BREC Commission as well as from the school board is our commissioner, none other than Mr. Craig Freeman. Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. And actually, before I read the script, and I apologize for going off the script for a second, I would just be remiss if I didn't thank Sue Turner and the Turner family personally, and on behalf of my colleagues on the commission for all that they do. I started working with Sue about 8 years ago on the BREC Foundation. She's been a model for me for the kind of active engagement that I think we should all have in this community. Of course, she's generous with her checkbook. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her generosity, but I think that her generosity extends in so many other ways. She's so special to me because she's so generous with her time. She's a quiet leader, but she's able to shape growth in East Baton Rouge with just a few words and a wisdom that comes from listening. I haven't learned that lesson yet. I talk too much, but watching Sue, I get a chance to learn what I should learn about leadership. She's also so generous by working tirelessly to bring excellence here, whether it's sharing her home to welcome new board members, whether it's sharing ideas on welcoming a new superintendent, whether it's sharing her vision for a better Baton Rouge and then following through with her efforts. I appreciate her leadership, and so she's also leaving a fantastic legacy with her wonderful family, and so thank you, Turner family, for all you do to make this community a much better place. But I also wanted to thank the taxpayers. It's been 8 years since voters in East Baton Rouge passed the Imagine Your Parks program, and I'm proud to say that when you walk through the historic house here in Magnolia Mound, you'll see those tax dollars at work. Since the initiative passed, we've installed a new roof, museum-quality air conditioning, repaired the floor, and refurbished the paint and the wallpaper while ensuring historical accuracy. We're proud that Magnolia Mound is nationally accredited by the American Alliance of Museums, and it has been since 1985. And we intend to continue working with you to ensure that this building continues as a piece of history, teaching and celebrations for families across East Baton Rouge Parish. To tell you a little bit more about the history of Magnolia Mound and what the Visitor Center will mean for this property is the manager of Magnolia Mound, John Sykes.
In 1966, Magnolia Mound was almost destroyed. Local visionaries, including Mrs. Turner, believed that the oldest documented building in East Baton Rouge Parish should be preserved. They fought with great perseverance to save the 1790s Creole House, believing then that it could be a center for the study of Louisiana history and culture. Under BREC's careful stewardship, the property has expanded to 16 acres and now includes rare early outbuildings individually listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Our mission then and now has been education. We welcomed 14,000 visitors to Magnolia Mound last year to see through our restored buildings and grounds a glimpse of early plantation life. Through the work of the Friends of Magnolia Mound, we display a superb collection of early Louisiana furniture and artifacts in settings which tell the complete story of black and white, slave and free. Annually, we welcome almost 3,000 school children with the rare opportunity to participate in hands-on education programs. For more than 30 years, generations of East Baton Rouge children have been history campers at our annual summer day camps. This day marks the beginning of a new chapter in our history, our first new building dedicated solely to our visitors, which will help us continue our tradition of education for future generations. I'd like to introduce Mr. Todd Graves, President of BREC Foundation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome and thank you for coming here today. As president of the BREC Foundation board, I'd like to talk to you about our experience through the foundation. And for foundation members, current or past, can you raise your hand to recognize? So there's a lot of us out here, and what we'd like to say is that we're very excited about this project, Sue. Over the years, we've been talking about it. And it's great to see what you've done in the past and what we're doing now here in the future. And Trey, we're really excited about the design. It's going to be fantastic, and it's something we're very proud of. And so we'd like to tell you also is that we were very inspired by working with you. And I've learned a great deal, like Craig was saying, over the years of working with you for several years on all the projects we worked with in Baton Rouge. And I just wanted to be up here to tell you from my personal experience and everybody out here, and Bill, you too, that you joined us on the foundation board all these years, is that you've been a pleasure to work with and an inspiration. And it's just great to come here and to cap off when you left our foundation to have this wonderful project. So we love you, and we're here to honor you and your family today, and we thank you what you've done for Baton Rouge and for all of us. So without any more to ado, let me bring up the lady of the hour.
Slanted myself. Well, this is such a surprise. Not only that it's happening, but there's so many of you here that I'm sure would not be here if you weren't in favor of what we plan to do. And it's like a dream come true for me, and to have had children whose interests are so close to my own that it gives us another bond for our family. I never think about being able to give to a good project without realizing that it was my husband who has actually made it all possible, because he was willing to put his nose to the grindstone while I was running around having fun with all of the projects that have taught me what little bit I know about business, because I haven't been able to apply many of the talents I put to use from a lot of other things, but getting some idea of how to read, one of those long, narrow things with a lot of numbers on it, that now I know enough. At a business meeting, I skip the treasurer's report entirely. I won't even look at the paper. But that's because I think God and nature and love bring people who are good-hearted together. And I certainly have benefited from the people I've gotten to know from doing what I've done. And nobody has enjoyed it like I have. And thank you. I want to thank Trey, because Trey has showed me some architectural drawings that I've seen the work he does, and I knew he would give us something that would not take away from the mound, but would add to the comfort and I hope the education of those who come here. And I thank everybody. David, I didn't even know about your gift till I read it in the paper. But I learned a lot of things about my family on the street. Just so it's always good. But thank you, and I'm tickled to death. You can tell that. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mrs. Turner, and for your generosity and for your support of this facility and the support of BREC, and all of you for being here, all of the committed donors, the committed volunteers, the dedicated staff, for helping to transform East Baton Rouge Parish system into what we know it should be, a top-notch cultural and recreation facility. And so this time I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Trahan of the architect. Where are you? Could you wave at the group? Thank you for what you did. Thank you so much. This was an incredible design. And also, I would like to also introduce the construction company with Omega Construction, Mr. Adam Stevens. Where are you in the crowd? Thank you. We know that you're going to do an outstanding job with this facility, and we will make sure that we give you all of the things that you need to make sure that this happens in the right way. So thank you for being here today. And after the groundbreaking, I would like for you all to join us upstairs where the green and white balloons are to enjoy some light refreshments provided by the Friends of Magnolia Mound. So at this time, I would like to ask the Turner family, Mr. Todd Graves, Mr. John Sykes, Ms. Nancy Daugherty, Friends of Magnolia Mound, Kenny Richey, Craig Freeman, Mr. Larry Selders, and Mr. Trey Trahan and Adam Stevens to please join us to help break some ground. Thank you.